This is the cryostat used in our lab to section zebrafish embryos and tadpoles. This is the control panel. This is the deep freeze button. When pressed, it dramatically cools the deep freeze bar inside the cryostat. These are the temperature control buttons. For optimal slicing, set the cryostat between -20 and -22 degrees Celsius. The cryostat also contains a clock, which it uses for the 24-hour defrost cycle. Use the plus and minus buttons under the clock icon to set the time. Use the plus and minus buttons under the snowflake icon to set the defrost. The cryostat also allows for a manual defrost. To start this process, press the snowflake button. To lock the cryostat to prevent manual defrost, press the key button. To turn the light on in the cryostat chamber, press the light bulb button. The side panel has 4 buttons. These allow you to move the block you are slicing back and forth. The double arrows move the block continuously. The single arrows move the block only while depressed. The -80-degree freezer is usually used to store samples and blocks. Pull down on the lever to open the freezer and take out your samples. To close the freezer, push the lever upward and make sure it locks into place before you walk away. Before putting anything into the -80-degree freezer, make sure what you are storing is labeled and wrapped in saran wrap and aluminum foil. This way, we avoid contamination of samples. While using the cryostat, make sure you are wearing gloves. Turn the light on inside the cryostat chamber. To change the razor, pull up the handle next to the blade to prop it loose. Using the brush with a magnetic tip, remove the blade. Put it in a container of used blades. Get a new razor, slide it in, and then push down the handle to lock it into place. Remove the block from its casing. Make sure you don't lose track of where the heads of the tadpoles or zebrafish are facing. Trim your block close to the heads using a razor. Then squeeze some OCT onto the chucks inside the cryostat and place your block in the OCT so that the embryos are upright. Let the OCT freeze before you proceed. You will be using Superfrost Plus slides for your sections. These slides are slightly charged so that your tissue does not slide off during any staining procedure. Label the slide and write down your initials and date at the bottom of the slide. Now you are ready to cryostat. Slide the chuck into the mount and tighten the knob above it to keep it in place. Set the dial next to the mount at 50 micrometers to trim your block. Use the side panel to move the mount closer to or farther from the blade. Turn the handle on this right side of the cryostat to move the mount forward. When you spot tissue, set the dial next to the mount to 20 micrometers to begin sectioning. Using either a brush or a curved glass pipette, carefully guide your section straight onto the platform. Place your slide gently on the section, and it will melt right onto it. Continue aligning sections on your slide. Be careful not to overlap any tissue. Happy cryostatting!